What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome to another edition of After the Movie. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about The Conjuring 2. That's right, James Wan comes back to direct the follow-up to the surprise hit of, 2013, The Conjuring. And he's back, and he delivers what I consider the best film in the Conjuring universe, easily, hands down, without a doubt. Followed closely by Conjuring 1, and then, Annabelle Creation is below that. And then the no while you're on the Annabelle. Yeah, those three are kind of just down there. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Conjuring 2. This one is my personal favorite. Everything is top notch. The production value is top notch. Obviously, this one had the largest budget of the entire Conjuring universe films. We had a great young actress here as well. I don't quite know her name. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson are back. The scares are more creative. The story is more interesting. Valak is absolutely like a terrifying creature, demon thing. In fact, there's some really clever stuff going on with Valak throughout the movie. Like, if you look closely, there's certain scenes, if you look in the background, they spell Valak's name several times throughout the movie. First time I saw it, I didn't notice that, and then happened to just be looking. I'm like, wait a minute. That's it. That's the name of it. They've been giving it away the whole time. It's all there in plain sight. The scares are great. It's chilling. It's eerie. It has heart. There's a nice love story to it between Ed and Lorraine Warren. Everything about this movie just really, really clicks, and it's one of my favorite horror films that I've ever seen. I think it's James Wan's best horror film he's ever done. Like, better than the first Conjuring, better than Insidious, better than Saw, better than Dead Silence. This one here, oh geez, of course my phone keeps falling over. I'll just have to put that back on. But this one here, absolutely superb. Like, I really, really like The Conjuring 2. I think it's the best one of them all. So the plot of this one this time around is Ed and Lorraine Warren are they're having a little bit of trouble. Not marital problems per se, because these are two characters who are absolutely in love with each other. They're very likable. They work with the church. There's a Melissa spirit haunting this house in, England. They went from Amityville, and they had some problems there. Lorraine just saw something that absolutely terrified her. Then they go to this one is about documenting this Enfield case, where this one was kind of one where there was instances where they'd fake it, and then there's things where people debate were real. It was kind of one of the most interesting of the Warrens cases that they came across during their time doing this, because like there's moments where it's just like, there's something about it. Like, there's an old man spirit there. There's an evil like entity there that wants to possess and kill people and kill Ed Warren. Just kind of everything about this one just really clicked for me. And I think what sold me on this one the most, there's a scene just in the middle of this dark, spooky, scary horror film where Patrick Wilson gets on the guitar and starts singing Elvis to the kids. And it's about like, he's like, I can't help falling in love with you. And Patrick Wilson is surprisingly a very good singer. I did not know this. But yeah, just in the middle of this horror movie, you got like this nice family like little song moment where he sings to the kids, and then he's just like singing to his wife and all that. I found that scene to be absolutely touching. It felt really genuine. They're just really likable protagonists in this film. That's what makes The Conjuring, that's what makes them stand above all the other films in this universe, are Ed and Lorraine Warren. Two really likable protagonists in the film. Obviously, like, the two, Ed and Lorraine, have actually passed away in real life, and that's unfortunate too. But the films live on, and their legacy continues through the films. But like I said, Vera and Patrick, these two, great chemistry, such likable protagonists. I know I have to keep stressing that time and time again, but like I said, everything about this works. There's some creepy stuff. There's this one thing. The first time I saw, I'm like, okay, that's just some weird CGI. No, it's actually a practical effect, and that's when they do this thing called the Crooked Man, and it's like a contortionist. This guy has like this really unusual body shape, and when you see him kind of contort himself and moving around, I'm like, that doesn't feel right. That feels CGI. No, that's 100% an actual person there. And I'm like, oh god, that's like, at first I'm like, that just looks like crappy CGI, because it just felt so jaggedy and unrealistic. But no, that's actually a dude walking. And when I saw that revelation, I'm like, holy shit, that's so unnatural. It's so freaky. It's weird, but I love it. Um, like I said, some creepier scares. I just genuinely really, really like this one. I mean, the scares don't hold up as much now when I watch it, but when I first saw him, I was like gripping my seat. Especially one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. There's this scene where there's this painting of Alec that's hanging in one of Lorraine's offices, and when she goes in the room because she sees it, and she goes after it, and she's kind of confused, and you just see this kind of shadow walk around, and like on the and kind of merge with the painting. It's super freaky. It's creepy as hell, and it's genuinely a great scary moment because, I mean, a lot of people came away from The Conjuring 2 like that nun. The nun itself, as you can see, was, that thing proved so popular that it got its own movie, and actually, the nun itself made more money than all the other Conjuring films. So, despite not being the best in the universe, it's just kind of that image of the nun, that horror icon that she's become. The Nun and Annabelle, those two have become kind of iconic. People see those, they recognize them, like, oh, that's the Nun. Oh, that's Annabelle. Those two freaky looking things. So, yeah. But yeah, Conjuring 2, like I said, there's some genuine heart to it. It really is touching. It's a nice love story kind of thrown in there, too. Some genuinely great scares, great music and atmosphere. And the ending is really touching, too, because it's just Ed and Lorraine. They just dance together, and that's kind of it. Just a nice sweet dance moment of just these two characters who really love each other very much, are good wholehearted people, and it is refreshing to see that, especially in today's day and age of movies where you have characters who, there's I like flawed characters too, but I don't feel like I see that in characters who are just generally just good wholehearted people in movies anymore. You know what I mean? Something kind of like Superman and the Christopher Reeve Superman. Like, you don't see a character really like that in today's day and age. And I'm kind of missing that character. I mean, not to get too off track, but like when Henry Cavill Superman comes out, like I don't get that same vibe I get when I see like Christopher Reeve's Superman, where it's just genuinely good. Because I believe, because there's that bit of angst to it at times, which you see, and kind of like that questioning self doubt. But this one, you definitely get like these are just people who just want to help the best they can. Really likable. You just want to smile when you see them on screen. And they like I said, great protagonists to go up against the evil demons that they face. The little girl is really great in this film. Just a more interesting story, more interesting case. They somehow managed to come up with a surprisingly really great sequel, what I consider better to be than the first film. I've said that since I first watched it. I'll wholly vouch for this one as being the best of the Conjuring universe. First one is really good as well, but this one in general is the best in my personal opinion. So, what are your thoughts on The Conjuring 2? Ooh, I mentioned this in the Annabelle video, but I was watching this down here last night. Had all the lights off, had my little Christmas tree lights going on throughout the basement. I'm just sitting there watching the movie, and then under the stairs, I hear something get knocked over, and then I hear another thing get knocked over, like all the way across the room. There was a box that fell over, and then stuff fell over here too, like all across the basement, like simultaneously. And I just kind of freaked out a bit. I was like too petrified to move. I'm like, okay, nothing ever happens down here. Well, I did have one haunting experience, but if you guys want to know about that, just let me know. It was like the freakiest thing ever. Fuck it, I'll tell you. One time I was down here by myself, and there was nobody else home, and I was watching TV, and I was getting kind of tired. So I shut off the TV, and then like right behind me, I heard something whisper like my name in my ear. I was like, Sean. Just whispered right into my ear, and I was absolutely terrified. Like my hairs were standing up. I was petrified to move. Like I didn't want to look behind me. I couldn't move. It was just one of those freaky things where you're just like, you just can't fathom all that's going on there. It's just absolutely terrifying. But yeah, I got kind of flashbacks to that when I heard all this stuff got knocked over. I'm like, there was nobody else down here. True story, absolutely freaky. Just one of those weird things where I'm just like, why? I'm like, of course this has to happen now. And then part of me is thinking like, I'm watching way too many horror movies in the dark tonight. Like I'm just gonna go upstairs, take a nap, and then or go to bed, and then come back and watch the rest of the movies tomorrow in the bright daylight. But yeah, so I'm fully in the Conjuring mood. I've pretty much rewatched them all. I just got to rewatch The Nun one more time, and then I'll be ready for Annabelle Comes Home. So look forward to that video when it drops tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed these Conjuring videos, and yeah. Oh, I gotta also review Toy Story 4, so I'll record that as well today because I watched that the other day and I needed some time to think about it. So, yep. All right. I'll see you all later. Take care now. Bye bye then. Peace.